Good morning and welcome to Holiday Club. Hopefully some people tried our boats last week. I know I've seen some people's photos and videos, so hopefully you all had a go at those. We had some successfully floating boats. Mine is still in the bathroom actually. My children have been playing with them all week, so I must collect all my bits up and sort those out, otherwise it's going to be Lego everywhere. Right, this week we are doing banister races. So the idea was to build some vehicles that would slide or run down our banisters. Okay, so the banisters on your stairs. So I don't know why I decided to do this. It seemed a good idea at the time, but it could be tricky. So we shall see how we go. So in our house, we've actually got 3 different types of banisters, as you do, on different parts of our stairs. So I'm going to show you the sorts of banisters we've got for the 3 different types. Okay, so I've got these ones near the bottom of our stairs that they've kind of got flat edges to them, so a little kind of triangular, almost top to them. So it's fairly flat, and then flat edges down. So you get either side of those ones. We've then got these ones that are attached to the wall. You know, those sorts. So you can't get down the back of them. There's a gap there for your fingers, but they're the other sort. And then I've got these ones which are quite circular. Okay, so I've got no flat edges on those ones. Again, they can get all the way around, but they're circular. So I'm going to go for 3 different types of cars, 3 different types of racers. One hopefully designed for each of the different sorts of banisters. Now, as I say, I've not tried these yet, but unlike most weeks where I literally just make things up as I go along, this week I have had a bit of a think first to try and work out what I think might work. Okay, so then I'm going to show you how I've put those together. Okay, so we are going to go for the first ones I showed you, which were this one. This is the one I'm going to go for first, okay, and see how we go. Now I thought with this one, because it's got quite flat edges, I could literally, if I balanced it, a car would probably just run down that, a normal sort of car. So that is what I'm going to basically start with. And I'm going to take it to pieces off camera so you can't see what I'm doing. But I'm going to use just a standard car base for the basis for this one. Okay, so I'm hoping that will sit on the banister and basically roll off, but it will fall off, won't it? We all know that's never actually going to balance on the banister properly and fall off. So I'll not fall off. So I wanted some way of keeping it on the banister. Okay, so the way I came up with was to I figured if I put a bar across the middle like that, I could then put some pieces down either side that will go either side of the banister and then keep it on. That's my idea. Okay, so I've just got 2 stacks of 2x2 bricks. Okay, so I'm going to put one on that side and I'm going to put one on that side so that my banister will go in here, and I'm hoping that will just roll down and these will be either side of the banister. Now, there's no guarantee that's how wide my banister is because I haven't done anything sensible like measure it first. Now, you're probably building yours in your house, so it's much easier for you just to check. I'm in the garage and the banisters are in the house, so it's not quite as easy for me just to nip back and forth and check. So I'm going to go for it. We're going to hope that's right. Now, what I have thought was, if these aren't quite wide enough, I've got a couple of 2x3 bricks. So I figured if I need to make it a bit wider, I can stick them. Try to do both sides the same. Like that. And that'll then make it a bit wider. I think I'm going to have to go with it wider. So I'm going to leave them like that for now. I think that seems about the right width for my banister. Okay, now I want to make it an actual decent looking kind of car. So we're going to go, let's build up a little bit. My axle's a bit bent on this one. See if I can bend it back without breaking it. That'll do. Bit wonky, never mind. So I'm going to build up. I want a bit of a vehicle to it. So we'll put. I'm gonna go that way. This is the front, like that. Put a steering wheel in there, and a seat for the driver. Let's pop a windscreen on the front. How's that looking? Got a driver for it. And let's even put a bit of a roll cage at the back for safety. Yeah. So that's my first attempt. So it's quite a simple, basically just a normal car that I've just put these two sections on. To try and make it stay on the banister and roll down. So we see how that goes. That's my first one done. Next one I thought we'd look at is this one, the circular one. Now that's not going to, a car's not going to, this same car might work on there. Okay, so this might run down, but I wanted to do something a bit different. So what I thought was, if I can get kind of one wheel on the top, rolling down the top of the banister, like that. So this one roll down the top. And then if I can get two more wheels, kind of one on either side like that, rolling down the side, I might be able to get that to stay on. Okay, so I thought I'd go for something a little bit more common. Now I had to get a way of getting these wheels going in different directions. Usually all wheels are on roll the same way, so to get some rolling in different directions. So I thought I could use some of those hinge bricks that we've used. We used when we were doing creatures and things. Okay, so some of these types of pieces that join together. And these ones are quite nice because they kind of lock in place. They go click, 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 like that. So I can choose my angle then. So I thought that might work. Okay. So that's what the idea is. So how did I go about doing it? So this is my car. So let's take it to pieces a bit and show you what I did. Now to start with, I made this bit, which is the that's it. Things aren't showing up very well on the black today because I'm using lots of black tiles. So this is the bit that's going to run down the middle of the banister on the top. So I've got two wheels and two Technic beams joined together and a couple of Technic bricks in the middle here. Okay, so this all comes. Oh, take the bottom piece off. Comes apart like that. So I've got each wheel has got a pin in either side like that, so they join onto the beams. Then I've got a brick. You can see. You can't really see. There you go. A couple of Technic pins there, just to hold the brick in. Basically the same on the other side, and then joins together. So I figured that made me a nice, almost like a motorbike base. You could use that if you were making a motorbike or something. And then I did. The reason I put the normal bricks in the middle, so I had something to build onto. So plate on the middle just to hold it all together nice securely. And then I need to do my top bit. Now, let's put there we go, something to build onto. Then I wanted the arms. Okay, so this is what I've used. So some of those pieces that I just said about. Okay, but there's some longer ones. So I've got a 4 long one here, and I've got a square one, and I've got a flat one. So I've used different combinations of pieces. Okay, so I've got 2 of those. So my idea is that they're going to go one either side like that, and then these arms I can bend down to get to the exact angle I want, and then I want another wheel on each of the ends, so a wheel here and a wheel here. So what I'm going to use these types of wheels. You can use any sort of wheel, doesn't really matter, but there's the one I've gone for because I've got a nice brick in the middle for joining onto. Now at first I just joined them straight to there, but you may see the problem there, that doesn't actually now bend because the wheel's in the way. It needs to be here. So I used a 2x3 and a 2x2, so they went like that, and did the same on the other side. So I've got some angle to these, so hopefully that would be the ideal. Okay, but I can adjust, I can make them wider, they will clip in a little bit more, so it's then wider. I can make it narrower. The banister is definitely not as narrow as that, but I can do. So by using these I can adjust this. This one's fully adjusted. I'm hoping I'll be able to get this one to be a decent fit. Okay, so that's going to go down the circular banister. Now at the moment I need to make a bit more of a vehicle of it, so stick a bit of a top to it, seat on the back, a driver, and a windscreen. There we go. Looks like an airplane at the moment, does it, without them bent down? That one keeps breaking off. Set this down. There. So those are my 2 so far. Both a similar kind of idea. They're both going over the banisters. This one's just using the guides on the outside and relying on the wheels running down the top, whereas this is using wheels on the top and wheels on the side. So we shall see how they go. Okay. Now the last one, this one, I think is going to be the hardest. This one is the one where we can't get down the back, so we've got to kind of hook it on in some way or wedge it in. So what I decide with this one is that I would basically what I've got is I've got a wall, and then my banister is kind of like that, where your hand runs down here, doesn't it, holding the banister. So I've got this kind of V-shaped gap, I think. Again, not measured this, so we shall see how we go. So what I figured was, I thought if I can get a wheel to run there and a wheel to run there, like that, so 2 quite kind of 90-degree angles, if I can do that with my wheels, that might work, if I can kind of wedge it in the gap. So that's what we tried to do. Now, getting wheels at different angles, as I said, is quite tricky, and especially when they all want to be under the car. So with this kind of idea, I can do it, but they're quite spread out. But I want them all kind of under here and at different angles. It's a bit trickier. Okay, so what I've done to start with is I've made 2 of my wheels. So again, I've used wheels on a normal sort of axle, and I've just joined them together with a Technic piece, so that'll they stay together. So that's 2 of my wheels. Okay, so they will run against my wall like that, like that. Yeah. So then, because my so that's going in there. I now need some wheels going this way to run against that bit. Can you see my fingers are in the way? Kind of like that. Wheel there. That's what I'm aiming for. So, what I thought to use is keep that. Some of these pieces. They quite often go on the top for helicopters and things. But most axles, they go that way and have the wheels coming out the side, whereas this sits on top. So the spinner, the axle, is at 90 degrees to the original axle, which is what I wanted. So what I've thought is if I put one here and I put one here and then put my wheels on, that's got me what I've wanted. It's all quite tight, and that hopefully will sit in there. Now it sits in this one. I'm just hoping I've got enough space in my actual banisters to get that to work. But I'm hoping this is going to work. Okay, so it rolls through the wedge by rolling on both thick pieces. It should go either way around. I might decide it fits better the other way. But there we go. So that's what we are going for. Now, make it a bit more secure. Put a plate underneath. That's all quite solid. Not much of a car though currently. So if I put some bricks in, that then gives me something to build on. But really, I want the base of my car here, flat that way, don't I? Not an angle. So put a. So I'm going to use some of these again. These bendy hinges come in really useful because we're doing things at angles, you see. So if I put those like that, I should then be able to put my move it along a bit. See if we get a good position on it. There we go. So now when that car sits in there, my blue plate is about horizontal. I've gone for loads of angles on this one. This is quite fiddly. I'm hoping it'll work. You see in that? I've used those two hingy bricks in there. Not the most secure thing in the world. I'm going to give it a try. And then let's stick. Let's go for that. We're going to put a big wing on the back. The driver is going to sit in here. That. Give him a steering wheel. And the front of the car, the front of the vehicle, whatever it is. There. So that's the plan. The hope is that this is going to work like that. Okay. So I'm going to go off and try these now, and I shall video what happens, and then we'll be back and we'll see how they got on. So, see you in a few seconds. Okay, so welcome back. It's only in seconds for you. Here we are on the stairs, and here's my first mountain. It's not very long, but this is the first one. So this is the car so it's not great lighting in the stairwell. This is the car we're going to attempt on here. Now I've actually had to make the barriers at the sides even wider if you look, which now means they're not securely fastened particularly. And I've broken them off, putting it down, so they're only held on by one set of studs. Makes it a little bit fragile, but we shall go for this. Now I'm having to do this all one-handed while holding the camera, which means there's no way I'm going to manage to catch this car, so there's going to be Lego going everywhere. But we shall see if we can actually... Does it work? Will it roll down? So hopefully... Yes! Just about. Don't know where the bits that went down there. I lost one of my green bits. There it is. One of those green bits down there on the floor somewhere. But there we are. Right. Second car. On the circular banister. This one. Now this one is a bit of a tight fit. So, as I say, we can adjust these, see if we can get it to clip in nicely. Don't want to start, oh, nearly dropped the camera. Don't want to start too near the top or it might catch the, oh, it should be alright, there we go. Go for that. Let's see if we can get those to work. That went really well. Again, obviously I didn't catch it, so it's lying pieces on the floor. But it worked quite well. And then the last one down, these banisters. Now I really should have done some measuring because these banisters are a bit thinner, smaller than I was thinking they were. So my car doesn't kind of fit in the gap. What if I did it backwards, would it? No, it still doesn't really fit in the gap. So it more sits on top, which isn't ideal. I think what I might do, I'm going to add a piece to here, if I can. Balance the camera. There we go. See if that helps to just keep it in the groove. In there. So, film from the bottom. Sorry for the dodgy camera, it's a bit tricky. See how this goes though. That worked really well. See you in a bit. And we're back. So that's been seconds for you. That's been a few minutes for me. So how did we get on? Let's have a look at the state of my cars. So the first one, here it is. It's not too badly. The roll cage didn't do him much good, did it? That fell off. He fell out. His seat's there. These bits broke off, but it kind of worked. It hit the bottom of the banister, which what threw it off. It stayed on. I think if I was going to redesign this now, I'd make a crossbar too wider because that wants to come to there. So I would make my blue piece here longer, so it actually was a bit more secure. Probably try and attach it a bit better as well. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It did the job. The theory was there. So hopefully with yours, if you've done something like that, you can try it a few more times. Okay, so if I was doing this, I might have another go at it now and go back, but I'm not going to do that at this stage. So that wasn't too bad. Then the one down the circular banister, I thought this one worked very well. It's taken a bit of a bashing where it landed and it's broken and the ends come off and one of the wheels come off. But in terms of actually holding onto the banister, I think that worked quite well. Hopefully you could see on the camera. Yeah, that was quite successful, that one. And then my final one was the most destroyed. Look at the state, although it never was the most secure build. There it is, absolutely in pieces. But actually, with the additional, I don't know whether I needed that brick in, but I put that in just to make sure it didn't, to help it not fall off. The actual idea worked really well. I was quite pleased with how well it went. It rolled down well, so quite for a reasonably tricky build, it kind of worked. So I was quite pleased with how that one went. Oh, my mouse has stopped working. There we go. So there we are. There's my 3 banister racers. So we'll see how you guys get on with yours. Do send in your pictures, send in your videos. Let's see what you're doing. Now, I probably haven't been commenting below during this video. Not that many of you are replying to me anyway, but I'm usually there. But today is Wednesday. It's the 2nd of September, and schools are starting to go back. And I'm at work today because I'm a teacher. So when I'm not doing this, I'm teaching. I'm on inset day. I've got no kids in today, but I'm in. Which means that we can't keep doing these because you guys will all be back at school. You're probably not back. Most of you probably won't be back today, but you'll be back in the next day or two. So our next week's build, we have got one. No build next week because we're all back at school. So this is our last one. Last of these virtual sessions for now. I might do, before the summer holidays, we did some after school sessions, and maybe we'll go and do some after school sessions in a few weeks. Let's let things settle down. Let's get everybody back to being used to being back at school. But do let me know if you'd like me to run some virtual after school sessions. Do let me know. I'm going to try and see what we can do about getting into some schools like I used to do before all this. Now that we're all back at school, but again, that might not be for a couple of weeks. But we'll see what we can do. If you're local, do watch out for that. So if you want me to do virtual sessions, let me know. If you want me to do virtual after schools like this, let me know days, times, what works best for people. I think we ended up with 4 o'clock on a Wednesday was what we were doing before the summer. Is that a good time? What works for you? Okay. So, as I say, no session next week. We are all done for now. Hope you've enjoyed them. Do let me know. These are all saved on the Facebook page. They're also all on my YouTube channel. So do come and say hello when you do stuff. Show what you've got. Also, look out for. See, I'm back again. I keep going to go and then coming back again. This weekend is the Ely Brick Show, a virtual Lego show. I've got a few videos in there. I've got 3, I think, different videos as part of that virtual event. I've got a video about great ball contraptions, so how they work. I've got a video on how to build a Christmas decoration because we're into the autumn term now, getting towards Christmas. So that's in there, and also a video of a tour around my DC castle. But there are loads of videos as part of the Ely Brick Show. So I'll put the link in the description of this video. So go along. It's free to access the website from Saturday. But they are looking for donations. The Ely Brick Show usually do a show in October in aid of the Ely Christians Against Poverty, so a charity helping out people who are struggling. And I would imagine at the moment there's a lot of people. So if you can donate, that's really good, really appreciated. But there isn't actually a fixed cost to being part of it. So you can go and have a look. But there's loads of things on there. There's interviews with one of the guys that was on Lego Masters, the TV program. There are lots of videos of loads of different builds and displays and showing you all these different things. So it'd be really good. So well worth going to their website and checking them out on Saturday. And then it'll be up for a bit of time after that. But go and check it out and see. Okay? So, see you soon. Farewell.